Hey, everybody, welcome to From the Cheap Seats. I'm John Harris along with my pal Billy Smith, and we are going to give you up to the date football picks and odds and all those things right here for NFL Week 11 from the Cheap Seat. How you doing, Bill?
Hey Johnny, I've been better, but I'm still breathing.
That's all that matters. I know you were a little under the weather the other day, and we just hope you're feeling better. And uh, we'll try to get you through this pretty quick because I'm sure you're still recovering. But way to hang in there, pal.
Yeah, just a little
Anybody,
cold. That's all.
anybody says you don't have a set, you just tell them you got more than one set, baby.
Yeah.
Gee, I I know I got a set because they hang so low. I think I step on them every day. So I know I still got a set. We'll see what happens. Yikes. Um, we're not just football, so we'll do a little sports news for you, but we're going to run through it pretty quick. In baseball, your most valuable players: Aaron Judge from the National League and Paul Goldschmidt from the Cardinals. He's in the National League. I'm sorry, Aaron Judge in the American League. Goldschmidt apparently was unanimous. Of course, it came down to Ohtani and Judge in the American League. Um, and of course, Judge is a free agent, so that's going to get interesting. We'll see what happens there. Cy Young was Verlander for the Astros. Oh, and I just forgot who it was in the National League. Now, whoever it is, National League, unless I remember it, bummer, dude. Uh, oh, Alcantara from Miami, from the Marlins, was the National League Cy Young. Manager of the Year, Buck Showalter from the Mets. He's won it. This is his fourth time. Terry Francona from the Cleveland Guardians. This is his third time. So there. And your rookies of the year, Santiago or from Seattle, and Harris from the Braves, Michael Harris. So there you have. There's your pretty quick baseball wrap up. The only signing so far in free agency, Anthony Rizzo, is staying with the Yankees for 2 more years for $40 million. He is staying with the New York Yankees. No other major free agent signings as of yet. A lot of things are getting looked at. We'll see what happens. In NBA basketball last night, the only I watched the game. It's the only reason I'm going to report on is I saw the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Milwaukee Bucks in a big game that was on ESPN. Two of the beasts of the East, as they say. Uh, Even though the Greek freak Antetokounmpo had great numbers, Embiid was pretty comparable in numbers and took over the game in the end. Maxey got hurt. Harden's already out hurt. Tobias Harris was on the bench in Civvy, so he's obviously hurt. But they still figured out a way to win. They stayed close, and then Embiid, last 3 minutes, I think it was, just went off. Started hitting jumpers and everything else. They couldn't defend him. Even though Brook Lopez looked great against him for quite a while last night, he was shooting it over Lopez in the end and hitting just about everything. So,
Yeah.
and the freak missed a whole mess of free throws, which made a big difference in the game. If he'd have made half to 2/3 of them, it would have been a lot closer game. But the Sixers win, I think, by about 7 or 8. So that was a good night for them. I think that's about it. Like you said, the Philadelphia Flyers have lost, looks like 6 in a row at this point. Boston in the NHL East is 15-2, Bill.
Yeah,
That's
that's
unreal.
pretty
And
remarkable in hockey.
yep. And last I knew, the New Jersey Devils, as of yesterday, had won 11 in a
Yeah.
row. And that's unreal in hockey, too. So that's just crazy. So, yeah, Philly's going to have a hard time staying in the hunt if they don't shape up, play a little better, because those
Mhm.
two teams are hot in the East right now. Unless you have something else, Bill, we're going to get ready to start our NFL deal.
No, I'm ready when you are.
All right. We had our first game Thursday night. Bill took Green Bay across the board after their big win against Dallas. Apparently, that was where they had their big moment in the sun. I took Green Bay against the straight, lost that as well. But because I took Tennessee against the spread, Tennessee did, by winning the game, beat the spread. So I took them. That is the one game that's been underway so far this week. Next game I have listed is Cleveland and Carolina. Bill, that is going to be played. Actually, it was, I apologize, it's Cleveland and Buffalo, but it's going to be played in Detroit due to the severe snow in Buffalo. Last I
Yeah,
saw this morning, it was 49 inches, and they've got
yeah,
more coming.
they're getting hammered.
They're getting hammered. It stopped, it looks like, for now, but they expect more tonight into tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was the smartest move. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Well, for safety's sake, not even just players. You can't have
yeah. I
people
mean, it's
work
nice to play in the
there.
snow, but I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. You gotta draw. I don't think it's gonna be nice to play in about 5 feet of snow at this point, even if you, and I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow in
Yeah,
Buffalo
they set up to 6 foot. I
up to
mean,
6 foot.
phew.
So you got another foot and a half to go probably. So yeah, they had to move that game. You're right. And um,
As a matter of fact, they were closing the airports, and Buffalo still didn't even leave. I don't know. I don't know why they waited till today to try to leave.
I don't know myself, Bill. I really don't. But I guess they're going to get out in time. They're hoping anyway, and they'll be in Detroit to play Cleveland tomorrow. And Buffalo is favored by 8.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. And even though Buffalo's losing the home game here, I think they're better on turf. So I kind of like Buffalo across the board on this one.
Yeah, I don't think I blame you, especially since they came off a tough loss last week. They're going to need to try to get back at where they were. So yeah, I already have Buffalo down doing both as well. I will put you in here, and there you are. Next game we got Carolina is at Baltimore. The spread is 13. Baker Mayfield is starting because PJ Walker is hurt.
13 is a lot of points because Baltimore don't score a lot.
I know. I know.
And Baker Mayfield, he's probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And every time I say
Listen,
somebody's worse, I get
listen,
all the comeback
don't
and
hold
win.
back, Bill. I want you to. I know, Bill. You want to say something about Mayfield? Go ahead and say it.
You suck, Baker.
Other than that, hey, yes,
And
it's a
and the
shame
Ravens,
because I like him. I mean, his commercials are funny, and he seems like a gung ho guy. But
yeah,
you ain't got what you ain't got.
yeah. I mean, you're a quarterback, just not an NFL
Just
quarterback.
not,
I mean,
how about, hey Baker, how about you go join the XFL?
yeah, there you go.
They're going to start up. You might compete for a starting job in the XFL. I couldn't.
But I do like the running back for Carolina,
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Foreman. And Baltimore's got some injuries. I think Andrews he's questionable, but I think he should play.
Okay.
Um, I think I'm gonna take the Ravens to win the game, but I think I'm gonna take the 13.
Okay. I did not. So we have our first difference, buddy. There it is. I'm going to take Baltimore across the board. I think. I just think they're that much better than Carolina, especially with
Oh,
Mayfield.
without a doubt. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah, and that could depend on weather too. You never know. I mean, Baltimore. I don't know if they're getting any of that snow or anything either. So I
yeah.
haven't heard of anything yet, but you never know. Okay, so I'm taking Baltimore across the board. Bill is taking Baltimore to win it straight up, and Carolina against the spread because it is 13 points, the big spread.
Right.
Chicago, Atlanta, the spread is 3. Atlanta is favored. And I'll double check that, but I think it's Atlanta that's favored by 3 over Chicago. Where are you? Here we go. Yes.
Yeah, this one here, I originally picked Atlanta.
Oh, wait a minute. Atlanta's getting 3. I
Oh,
apologize.
Atlanta's
Yep.
getting 3.
Yeah, Atlanta's getting 3. Wow, that was wrong. Yeah, Atlanta's getting to 3. They're picking the
Okay,
favorites.
because I was gonna split my pick there.
Yeah. Well, no, I caught it.
All right, so Chicago was giving 3.
Yes.
Atlanta's still in the hunt. Chicago's still in the hunt, I guess, and Chicago's playing real well. Fields
Yeah.
is the number one fantasy quarterback the past
Yeah, he
three
has
or
been for
four
like what,
weeks.
3 weeks, I think. Yeah.
I mean, he's averaging like 150 yards rushing the last two games,
Yeah.
averaging.
Yeah. Well, he broke the NFL record for most rush yards in a game 2 weeks ago with
Um,
172, 173 yards.
and then once again you got Marcus Mariota. I just bring
I
in the
mean,
rookie that they have and just
just yeah, have the rookie
just
start some games.
because they have some talent at wide receiver. They're just not. He's just not a pocket passer. So
Right, right. And he never really has been.
I mean, they have a rookie Drake London who's really good, and it's just they're just not getting on the ball.
Yeah,
Um,
it's puzzling to me. But they say they're um he gives them the best chance to win. I'm like, well, okay, if you say so. Yeah, yeah.
so
All right.
I am gonna switch my pick here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take Chicago to win.
All right. So you got
But I
Chicago.
think I think it's gonna be a real close game. So I'll take Atlanta to cover.
Okay. Well, it's only 3-point spread, remember?
Right. I think it'll
Okay.
be like a 2 point.
Okay.
It could be like 30 to 28, something like that. There could be a
And you might
push
be right. Yeah.
actually.
Yes, if anything, it could be a push. I will double check the spread before game time if I can remember to do that. And if so, I'll let you know if it changes to 2.5 or 3.5 or something. I know that could uh, make a obviously that can make a big difference when you're in that field goal range there.
Yep.
Um, Give me a
And I'll tell
second.
you
I'm
what,
check.
the way field goal kickers are, they're missing extra points.
Wow. Yeah, I
They're
saw
missing
all
35
kinds of.
yarders. I mean,
Yep,
it's just
it's just nuts. All right, I took Chicago across the board on that one. We'll see what
okay.
happens there. But like I said, I'll double check the odds before game time. Philly at Indy, it went from 7 to 6.5. It's in Indy. Um, I took Philly to win, but Indy to cover. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think they're going to keep playing hard for Jeff Saturday, and Philly's having trouble against the run. Now they did sign Ndamukong Suh,
Yeah.
and I can't
And
remember
the
his
guy from
name
the
from
guy
the
from
Chargers.
the giant. Well, the
He played for the
original.
Giants, the
Yeah, the giant.
Chargers.
Yeah,
Great
but
run stopper, but he's supposedly ready to go. They don't know if Sue will be ready in time um, to play this week,
right.
but I can still see some problems with Indy with the run. I just don't know if Indy's got enough defense to stop Philly's offense.
Yeah, I think that's the problem,
Yeah,
especially with Leonard being out. He's
with
been
Leonard out.
pretty much out to pretty much the whole season almost. I think he maybe
Yeah,
played
they
four.
said he's played in 3 games, but I think he was only substantial in one or two of them. But for Philly, Dallas Goedert's out, and he's on the IR for
Yeah,
a shoulder injury. So that'll hurt them a little bit, but I think they'll make up for that.
yeah, and kind of agree with you. Colts are playing good on their Saturday, so
Yeah.
maybe I don't think it was a fluke. So unfortunately, Johnny, I'm gonna do the same as you did.
Oh, I hate you.
Eagles to win, and the
And, yeah,
Colts
I
to
think they're
cover.
gonna. I think the Colts are covering, and Philly's got a history of playing near their opponent's level. So even if they
Yeah,
were that much better, it could be
I mean
close. And
they are coming off the loss, the
the
Eagles.
loss
So I
to
mean,
Washington Monday night, right? Um, a team that they should have beaten. Though I will say
but
Washington's playing a lot better.
yeah, but this could be a sign of a slump
This is true. This is
for
true.
the
We got it.
quarterback.
Yep, with a Hurts,
Hurts.
but he didn't play bad. A couple turnovers is what killed him. Watkins dropping that ball when he's running for the end zone. Nobody. Well, I guess he did get touched, but fumbled the ball when he was all alone. And then Goddard, even though it was a face mask, he still fumbled, and they didn't call the
Yeah,
face mask
right.
because I guess you can't on replay. But everybody was like, "How do you miss that?" But they missed it, so it happens. Um, and even the coach Sirianni said Those plays should not have and are not the reason we lost the game. We lost the game because we made too many mistakes, too many turnovers. And in the third quarter, late in the second quarter, the offense kind of died for Philly. And all of a sudden they're 3-and-out, 3-and-out. I mean, they didn't get out and even get field goals. Anything might have helped a couple times, but they didn't do it.
Getting back to the face mask penalties and everything. Usually, if you see the head jerk and everything, but I tell you what, some of the gloves on the defenders are matching the face mask of the.
Yeah, I noticed that a couple times. So
I mean,
it might be hard to see. Yeah,
sometimes you might not be able to see the fingers.
If you don't see that, yeah. And the other thing, even Jason Kelsey said, that it wasn't necessarily well, he said it wasn't the reason we lost the game. So the Eagles are all like, hey, look, we didn't play well. So I'll give them credit for that. They're not blaming anybody.
Sure.
But I think, like you said, I think
it's
it'll work in
something
reverse.
I think it could be reviewed. I think that's what
I think that's what's going to happen. I think the NFL is going to change on that. If you see something like that, if you see a face mask or a personal foul penalty, horse collar, something like that, if you see something that should be corrected while you're looking at something else, then you got to correct it, because let's face it, the whole reason for replay is to quote unquote get the call right.
Get it right. Yeah.
And that's one by rule they couldn't change. So I think they're going to have to change that rule. All right, New York and the Jets. By the way, I'll make sure I get the right ones here for you. The Jets and the Patriots. The Patriots are getting 3.
Patriots getting 3.
Patriots are getting 3
at home too. So
yep.
I tell you what,
we'll see if you did what I did.
I was never a Jets fan,
right?
But they're young and well coached,
and
I kind of like them now. But I just think New England at home might be a little much. So I'll take New England across the board.
Yeah, that's what I did. Damn you! It is. It's 3.5. It could be a field goal, so that half might be big too. New England's getting the points though, and I took them.
Yeah, that's shocking.
But you surprised me too. It did. Detroit and the Giants. I can't believe it. I thought I did it, but I couldn't find it before.
Detroit's +3.
Detroit, yep, is right. Yeah, Detroit's getting the points, or giving away the points, right?
No, yes. they're getting the 3.
Oh, it's got Giants -3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. 3. Yep, and that's how I got it written down. What's the matter with me? So Detroit's getting 3.
Yes.
So, what is New York, pick, my friend?
Yeah, New York is they're in the playoff hunt. They're playing really good ball, and Detroit, as exciting as they can be at times, their defense is not that great, and I'll take the Giants across the board.
Okay. I have a hunch. So Detroit's defense has improved quite a bit the last few weeks. They have Swift back. They have St. John's back. Goff's throwing the ball pretty well. I'm going to take in an upset, and I guess we should mark it down. This will be my upset pick of the week, which probably means I just jinxed Detroit. But I am taking Detroit across the board. I think the Lions are going to roar against the Giants. If they can get a pass rush on Daniel Jones, I think they'll be okay. I mean, yeah, you got Barkley, and you got one decent receiver.
But if it was in Detroit, I would maybe agree with you a little bit, but
you would probably take Detroit to cover.
You're talking
the Giants to win. Yeah.
You're talking 30-degree weather, a dome team playing outside. Nah, not happening.
Okay. Ooh, good. Listen, Bill. Nope, not gonna happen. Nope. Move on, Johnny, you dumbass.
We'll see. You know what?
Johnny, you dumbass. Move on.
I've been sucking all year. I might as well keep it going.
Might as well. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm gonna take an upset. I might as well take the one I want. Washington and Houston. And Houston's getting 3. It is
Eh,
in Texas.
Yeah, I mean Washington coming off that big week, uh,
Yeah,
big win against the Eagles.
yeah.
So there's no more undefeated teams.
Nope. They played
And
very well, by the way.
but they
McLaurin
also
looks
got
good.
a little slap on the wrist there, drinking on the plane on the way
I
home. I
know, dumbasses.
guess.
Yeah, you know the
I,
rules, and you do it
I,
anyway. Come on, Ron
but
Rivera's not going to let that go.
yeah.
Yeah. Riverboat
So
Ron is only so far.
yeah, I mean, I like the running back Pierce, but other than that, outside of that, they don't have
Outside of that,
much.
Houston. I mean,
So
Davis
Washington,
Mills has no weapons, and he's marginal to
yeah,
begin with.
Washington should cruise in this one.
I think, yep, and that's where I was with you. So we'll put down the big old Washington here. All right. New Orleans and the Rams. I don't understand this one. The Saints are getting 2.5.
Where is that one at? Yeah, yeah, I don't understand this one.
Stafford is back, by the way.
Stafford's
Stafford will be
back.
playing, but
Cooper
they've
Cup.
lost Cooper Cup for maybe the season. He had ankle surgery.
Yeah, I mean, even if he's able to come back, they're going to be out of it by the time he does come
By the
back.
time
And
he
I
does,
I
yep,
think he's on the shelf the rest of the year. So
yeah.
and
Defense,
it's
they have 2
disappointing.
guys, Ramsey
Yeah, it's
and Darnold.
disappointing.
That's it.
I mean, they looked great last year offensively all around, and this
Mhm.
year just
The
poo
offensive
poo.
line is actually awful, and they don't have any
Yeah,
other weapon except Cup.
yeah,
They don't have a running game,
nah.
so so all the pressure is going to be on Stafford. You kind of hope he doesn't take a beating back there because the
Hmm.
line's terrible.
Right.
So they lost linemen. One retired, another one went somewhere else. I think they didn't sign anything. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
with you.
and the Saints are being at home. I'll take the Saints across the board.
Okay, and that's what I did too. So it's like, of course,
As
last
we're
time we did that, it was no, 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 no,
yeah,
and at the end of the game, it was
it's
no, 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 no.
it's pretty
Oh,
funny because
Atlanta beat them.
as we
Yeah,
go into the deeper into the season, we're getting a lot of the same picks here.
yeah, you notice that, right? Between the numbers, and I've started to see things that were there. The numbers are bearing out the eye test, basically.
Mhm.
Uh, Denver and Vegas in Denver. Um, and I believe Denver's getting 3, which I am surprised. Yeah, Raiders +3.
Yeah, this one here, I don't know. Josh McDaniels, I think he's going after this year. I just don't. Offensively, he's supposed to be offensive genius, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean, Carr's not a bad quarterback. You got an All-Pro in
They've got
Adams.
some weapons. I mean,
You got a
Jacobs
Pro
is a good
Bowler in
running back.
Jacobs. I mean,
I mean,
it's just.
Waller's hurt. Okay, we got to give him that, but
But
I
I
just don't
just
see it.
I
Yeah.
just understand. I don't understand. I don't. I
Well,
mean, they should be. Adams should be getting at least 12 to 15 targets a game. I mean,
yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
And when you're not getting on the ball a lot of times,
Well,
it's
it
just
looks like they're
sometimes they don't
getting
even
him
look at
first
them.
half, and then
They
teams
don't
are
even
making
look at
some
them.
kind
Yeah,
of adjustment, and he's not
yeah,
getting open, or like you said, they're not looking at him for some reason the second half of games.
yeah. And Denver's defensively has been fairly stingy, and I think Russell Wilson should start getting in a groove sooner or later. So I'll take Denver across the board.
Okay. I agree with everything you said, Bill. That being said, I think Russell Wilson's playing like bad Alpo. He's
Well,
just
yeah, yeah,
nasty dog food. He's not playing well. He's also not getting protection. I think it's the wrong kind of offense for him for some reason. He's not, um, they're not doing much on RPO because they're not rolling him out. The running game isn't as good as it could be. I think they have somebody hurt, right?
true,
Because right,
true. Yeah,
Judy is back, or is going to play.
I like the tight end Dolchich they
Sutton,
have. I like
yeah,
him.
he's starting to
He's
look pretty good, and
yeah,
I like
yeah.
Cortland Sutton.
And they got Sutton.
That all being said,
Yeah.
Here's another hunch. I'm going with Vegas across the board. I think they're going to come out and bust some tail. I think Derek Carr's message may wake a couple people up, might help him. We'll see. Um, it's going to be do or die for Vegas. If they look bad against Denver, then I think you're right. I think at the end of the season, McDaniel
Yeah,
will be gone. But if he turns it around the next 2-3 games, and Mark Davis wasn't lying about rebuilding, then he might get to stick around. But I think they
right,
got to win a minimum of 3 more games to show that that's got potential.
right.
Otherwise, yeah, you're right. He's going to be gone, and the Raiders will be starting all over again. How many offenses has poor Derek Carr had to play for offensive coordinators? Every
Yeah.
time this guy learns a system, it stops because every year the Raiders seem to be hiring and firing, sometimes in the middle of the season. I feel bad for the guy.
I think, I mean, I could be wrong. If I'm a offensive or a head coach in general, I'd be looking at almost like looking at a fantasy aspect of it.
Yeah,
When you have guys, I mean, I'm not saying you burn them into the ground, but you go to what works. I mean, the
right.
Rams do it with Cooper Cup. I mean,
Yeah,
and so I
yeah.
mean,
Packers used to do it for Devontae Adams. You knew he
Devontae,
was going there. The
yeah,
Cardinals try to do it with Hopkins, and it works for them.
and
It's just they
yeah,
have
so
other problems.
right.
So, yeah, I agree. You figure out a way to get your guy open.
I think
Um,
it's the play calling once again. I mean,
you could be right. It could be right. Well, the other night when we watched last week when you watched the Philly game, they didn't run the ball until toward the end of the game, and all of a sudden they started moving the ball because they started to run. But they didn't run Miles Sanders hardly at all. I think in the end they only had like 12 running plays. Well, if you're not showing the defense a little something different every once in a while, they're just going to tee off and come at you, and they're
yeah,
going to go in and they're going to go into zone or double coverage as well. So, they send in an extra linebacker to blitz, and then everybody else stays back to cover your receivers because you're not running the football. Well, same thing here with Oakland. Oakland, I did it. There it is. Ding 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 ding. Same here with the Raiders.
well, you got to
Um,
throw on first down. You got to mix it up. You can't
mix
just
it
come
up a little
out
bit. You
and
just
run it
can't
on the
come up and
first,
throw
run it
right,
on second, and
run it
then
second, and then you
touchdown.
got 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it's
If you're
just,
lucky. And then what do you got to do? You got to throw the ball. Then you have to. So
and then they
it,
go into a thing where they're moving the ball, and then they do a stupid trick play, which
right. Yeah.
I just
And like, why are you doing that? It doesn't make sense to me.
yeah,
Like New England did it last week, and Brady
yeah,
fell down. Now they
yeah.
got lucky in Tampa Bay, pulled the game out,
But they were moving the
but it
ball.
ended
It's
up
like,
being a turnover, an interception. He falls
yeah,
down on a trick play when he goes out to be a wide receiver. It makes no
yeah, you're
sense.
moving the ball down the field. Why do you need to do a trick
Yeah,
play? I don't
yeah.
understand. You do a
Well,
trick play when you're struggling.
when you're struggling, yeah, don't break your momentum. So, all right, you're right about that one, but I'm still taking
Okay.
Vegas. But nice try, though, buddy. Dallas and Minnesota. Uh, Dallas is actually favored at the moment by 2 in Minnesota.
Yeah, this is kind of. I mean, it's going to be a close game, and it should be an exciting game. But Minnesota getting no respect, getting 2 at
None,
home.
none. Let's go up and beat a team that everybody thinks might win the Super Bowl and is probably going to go there from what everybody says. I'm not
Right.
sold on that, and
Right. No,
was
I'm not
never
sold on that
100%
either.
sold on that either. But Minnesota went up there and basically punched them in the face in
Yeah.
Buffalo. They
Yeah.
went to their house, knocked on the door, and punched them in the
Punch
face.
them.
Right
Yeah.
down chops. I mean, hi, are you Buffalo? Yeah. That punched it. Ooh, that looked pretty good. That's a good effect, Bill. Um,
Yeah.
there's your punch in the face game this week. That's we gotta have a segment there. Who got
Yeah.
punched in
Rock
the
'em,
face?
sock 'em.
Rock'em sock'em loser. This week it was Buffalo. I mean, Minnesota went up
Yeah.
there and put a hurting on them. Don't get me wrong, Buffalo played pretty well, but they had
Mhm.
some issues. And then Josh Allen didn't play well at all. And I blame a lot of it because Minnesota's defense played well enough.
Yeah.
That being said, Dallas is not Buffalo.
Yeah, Dallas is in Buffalo. They're up and down. Zach
Yeah,
Prescott, the
yeah,
running
exactly.
game. Pollard's better than Zeke,
But
but
Zeke
yet
didn't
they
even
don't.
play
But
last week.
right, but I'm just saying when they
But they
both
don't go
are
to
active,
enough. Yeah,
they just play Zeke over Pollard, and
yeah.
it makes no sense.
CD Lamb looked pretty good, but that was it.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
I don't think they went. I don't think they go to their tight end Schultz enough,
yeah.
and they don't look at their
And
other
defensively, they were supposed to be really good, but they
and
got beat
they're
by the
not as
long
good as.
ball.
Yeah, they're
And
not as
if you're
good.
if you're getting beat by the long ball,
I mean,
Jefferson's going to have a
look
big
what the
game.
Packers did to him. Kid
Yeah,
Watson, a rookie, had his first 3 touchdowns in his career. Three
yeah,
in that
three
game.
long ones. Yeah,
And it's the
so I mean,
Packers who stunk up the joint this past week.
yeah,
I
so.
mean,
I'll
I'm
definitely take the disrespect, and I'll take the Vikings plus the 2.
that's what I did. That's why I knew you were going to do it because I numbers or not, you saw the same thing I saw, and
Right.
you've seen the same things I've seen, and Cousins is having a pretty good season again. You can't
Yeah.
take that away from him.
He gets he's
And you
underrated.
got maybe the best receiver in football in Jefferson right now. My
Man, that
God,
kid,
that catch he made the
that
other
catch
day,
he made was unbelievable.
unreal. Especially with the situation that they were in too at the time. It was like 3rd and 12 or something. And he
Mhm.
makes that catch, keep his drive. Oh my gosh, that catch is
And you know
unreal.
what? It's funny getting back to that game. They had the game in the bag, Buffalo.
Yep,
They're
yep.
at the half-yard line.
The snap.
Instead of instead of just getting a snap and
Hmm.
running around and take a safety.
And see, that's what my thought was take the safety, and then you're kicking it off, and they're
Yeah,
way back because you weren't going to get out of there anyway.
yeah,
And what part of the game plan did you not think that Minnesota was going to be coming at you at the half
yeah.
yard line? It's the only shot they got.
I tell you what, I turned my head to look at something, and I heard that, and I went, "What the heck just
What?
happened here?"
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was great because it was the Viking players were
All
agitating the
celebrating.
Buffalo guys.
Yeah,
They were blowing kisses and everything
yeah,
and then Buffalo comes back and
yeah.
scores, and
They're
I'm like,
rocking the
ah,
baby.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Rock that
and
baby
then
some more,
and
jackass.
then boom, it's like,
Yeah. Oh,
well,
it was
that
interesting.
was probably
Talk
the best
about a
one of the best
momentum
games of the
changer.
season. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Very not necessarily well played, but very entertaining.
But like I said,
Yeah.
the coaching wins games and lose games, and to me, you take the safety.
You take the safety. That was coaching there. You're right. So Cincinnati is in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is getting 3.5.
And I think but the Bengals are coming off a bye too, I believe.
Yes, you are
So they're
correct.
well rested.
Yeah.
They did win big the week before. I think Mixon had 5 touchdowns.
Yes. As he broke
So
a franchise record, five
yeah,
touchdowns.
so
Yeah.
and Pittsburgh offensively is just struggling.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely
I
take
think Pickett's
Pitt.
getting better, but they have no running game, which
Yeah,
makes
the
it tough
running
for him, and
games.
no offensive line.
I
So he's
mean,
running around
well,
like, yeah,
that's what it comes down to. We said it before. If you have a great offensive line, you and I could go back there and play
right. Go
quarter.
back there
I
and
mean,
take all day to throw the
protect you.
football.
If you don't
And
have that,
I could
you
hand off to the running back with a good line,
right.
you know.
So
Running back right, running back left. Oh, what a great play call.
so but I'll take the Bengals and give the 3.5.
Yeah, that's what I did too, pal.
Just too much
Uh,
offensive power for.
yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Sunday night football. Here we go.
And this is
Kansas.
over in isn't this over in
Nope, that's not the game you're thinking of. You're
oh,
thinking of
that's
the
not
one in Mexican City,
the
Mexico
Mexico
City.
City. Okay,
That's
that's this one.
actually the San Francisco Monday night game. Is actually the one in Mexico.
Oh, that one's Monday night. Okay.
Yeah, this one is in L.A. because the Kansas City Chiefs go to play Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. You're laughing because you know I almost said San Diego.
I
Did
tell you
not.
what, this game's going to be different because
Oh, the spread is 5.5.
I
Now,
think they just reversed a little bit. San Diego. Nope. See, I just did it. San Diego.
Sandy, you did it too. It still says 5.5 here. Well, I'll refresh the screen and see if it changes.
The Chargers
The
have been
Chargers,
decimated with injuries all
yes,
season,
yes, they have.
and supposed to get Keenan Allen back. They're supposed to get Mike
Mike
Williams
Williams
back.
back, right?
And
Let me
then
see
on
if
the
they do. I can look, but I did hear that as well.
and then on the opposite side, Kansas City's missing their top three.
Yeah, they're missing
weapons.
Hardman. They're missing
Smith-Schuster.
Smith-Schuster. That's concussion protocol. Hardman's going to be out.
And one more.
Who else? Oh, another receiver.
Scantling. I think it's going to be out.
Oh, I thought he was going to be okay. Well, I'll take a look. Let's see. Well, I'll see what it says as of right now. Kansas City. And then I will look at the Chargers. Let me see. Yeah, Schuster out. I don't know who that is. Hardman, IR, injured reserve. He's not on the injury list.
Okay, so maybe
And he did play last week, but week before he was out, I think, or they thought he was going to be out, but he's not on the list for this week. Now I don't know, that could change, but I heard he was nicked up a little bit too.
Yeah.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't do anything last week.
No,
But Pacheco got some games.
Pacheco is going to be. I think you're going to see him start coming on.
And you know who else is going to come on? The kids that they already started to use, Tony,
right?
That they got from the Giants.
Yeah.
They're going to use him in ways like they used to use Tyreek Hill and Hardman and all that with the reverses, and he's already returning punts, I think, and kicks, and of course he's a receiver too. So I think they're hoping he picks up some of the slack for Kansas City. Meanwhile, the Chargers have, let's see, Mike Williams, full practice Friday, questionable. Well, if he did full practice, he's going to play. Keenan Allen, full practice Friday. So you're right. They're both probably going to play. And let's face it, Kansas City's weakness would probably be their secondary.
Right.
So if you get two of your good receivers back, that may be enough. Joey Bosa's on IR. So as far as Chargers pass rush, that might be a problem. Wasn't their kicker out? They had Dicker, the kicker was kicking. I don't see him. Oh, that's somebody else. Taylor.
That was Lambo, wasn't it? Lambo was that
Hopkins.
Or Hopkins.
Yeah, Dustin Hopkins, limited practice, doubtful for week 11. But they still have Dicker, the kicker, and as much as we joke about his name, it wouldn't surprise me if sometime next year he's on somebody's roster as their full-time kicker. I mean, he won a game for Philadelphia, and he had some nice kicks last week for the Chargers.
Yep.
He's got a good leg, so I would not be surprised if sometime next year he is somebody's full-time kicker. He beats somebody out. So yeah, the Chargers get their receivers back, and the Chiefs have a couple guys out. So but because the spread's 5.5, I'm taking the Chiefs, but boy, I'm pretty close to taking the Chargers to hang in there because it's always a tough game anyway.
Yeah.
And I think I am. I think I'm going to take the Chargers to cover.
Damn it.
Was that going to be yours?
Yeah, I was actually going to pick the Chargers to win the game, but
that's up to you. And you might be right. You could very well be right because
I just don't know. So
even in their win last week.
So to play it safe, I'm going to do what you do.
Are you really?
Chiefs to win and the Chiefs. Hey,
I got time to
change it.
That's true. You got time to change tomorrow morning. We can change it on the Express tomorrow. What are you taking it for now? You're taking the LA Chargers. And last, but some would say least, but not least, San Francisco and Arizona. Arizona is getting 8. It is in Mexico City for Monday Night Football. Last I checked, Kyler Murray, he was trending toward not necessarily playing, it looks like, but they haven't made that decision yet. He will probably be a game time decision. Hopkins was at a limited practice Friday as well with a hamstring issue. That's big. Buda Baker, the defender, is at a limited practice, but he did play last week, but he had an ankle injury. I am looking for, here it is, Kyler Murray, limited practice on Friday and is questionable for week 11 with that hamstring that kept him out last week. Colt McCoy, the backup, played pretty well last week.
Yeah.
He's not mobile or as mobile, but not many people are as mobile as Kyler Murray. But it kind of looked like a more structured offense to me.
Yeah, McCauley's a little more of a pocket passer than
Yeah.
than Murray is. But I think San Francisco defensively looking looking really good.
Yeah.
And they're not having to put McCaffrey. They don't have to give him 30 carries, 20 carries.
Right.
They're
I mean,
splitting
he
it with
split with
Mitchell
Debo and Samuel and
and
Mitchell.
and Elijah Mitchell came back last.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good recipe. So
Yes. Yes.
I'll
And you
take
still
the
have George Kittle in the middle. Kittle in the
yeah
middle, baby.
yeah. So I'll take the Niners, and 8's a little steep for a division game, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the Niners across the board.
All right. I did that too. Sorry. So we only have a couple differences. The Baltimore difference on the spread, you think Carolina's going to cover.
Right.
I do not. You took Atlanta on the spread against the Bears. I think Chicago's going to cover.
Mm-hmm.
We both took Indy against the spread, but Philly in the game.
Right.
You did take
You
Detroit,
t-
or I
you
took
took you
Detroit.
took Detroit.
Yes,
in
you
your
took the
upset. Yeah.
Giants. Yep, that's my upset pick. We both took Washington, we both took New Orleans. I took Vegas. You took Denver in that one.
Yep.
Both of us across the board there. We both took Minnesota, both took Cincinnati. I am taking the Chargers to cover, at least for now, against Kansas City, but Kansas City to win. You're taking Kansas City across the. Oh no, we both did the same thing. I apologize. We both did the same thing. Took the Chargers to cover because it's a 5.5-point spread, and we both took the Niners. Last week's records, I'll go through them pretty quick. Right now, we are at against a straight. You were at 80 and 68, which is 56% with one tie. I am 83 and 65, and it's like 57.3. So we're very close. There's a 3-game difference between us, straight and against the spread. I kind of opened up the lead. That's the good news. Bad news is we're both still under 50%. You're at 64 and 80 with 3 pushes. I am at 71, 73 and 3 pushes as well. You had last week, you were 6, 7 and 1 straight. I was 6, 7 and 1 straight. So we stayed the same on straight. Spread, you had a tough week. 4 and 9. And that's what dropped you down. And I just barely, well, I know I had a good week, 8 and 5, which got me up because you were ahead of me on the spread games, but I took the slim lead. So that's where those numbers are. I think that's pretty much it, pal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm looking at it. So we're close again. We're both gaining on Vegas with the spread, game here, game there, but we're both kind of gaining on them. They've had tough, they set the spread and they're having a tough time with it this season as well.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it, unless you have something else. I think we're pretty much wrapped up. And we'll have the Sunday Morning Express in case one of us wants to make a change tomorrow, or if I get a hold of you and we want to make no change, we can just say, see you next week, folks.
Yeah. Oh, and World Cup started. I
Oh,
think is it
World Cup's
today?
underway today, right?
I think today, if not tomorrow. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was the 19th or the 20th.
In Qatar, which is already a
Yeah.
controversy. A lot of people aren't
Yeah.
thrilled with that
So
idea, but it is what it is, folks. If you were going to gripe
US,
about it,
yeah,
you should have griped
USA,
about it years
yeah,
ago.
USA. Actually, what it is, it starts today, but USA plays tomorrow, I believe, against Wales.
Oh, that's why it was. Yes, that is right. They do open against Wales. All right.
So,
Well, good luck to USA. I think it's an uphill battle, not necessarily against
oh no,
Wales, but it's an uphill battle for them to get very far in the World Cup. But here's hoping they
yeah, I
do.
mean they have a shot of getting out of the uh,
The
the
bracket.
first round here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bracket.
Yeah,
So,
and
but
even that you got to say, okay, that's pretty good. You
yeah,
take that and run with it. And the XFL had their draft. That will be kicking off technically and literally, I guess, in February, I believe, right after, probably a week or two after the Super Bowl. The Rock and his partners will be overseeing the XFL,
uh,
which is why, which is probably why The Rock is in so many movies and TV shows right now, because he knows he's going to need some capital for a little while.
yep,
If this thing gets off the ground, okay, but if it doesn't, he's going to need some money to support his family for a little bit because he's throwing it all in. He's all in on the
yeah.
XFL, baby. You sent me something about rules in baseball, in Major League Baseball, but it didn't come across. I do
Oh,
know.
that was something different. It was just an old clip of Tony La Russa going off on
Oh,
umpires.
oh, okay. Well, he's done. He's retired. Uh,
Yeah,
as well as in baseball, you do have a couple new rules. You're going to have the 14-second pitch clock. That ought to speed the game up a little bit and stop all this, stepping out, stepping in, stepping out. I think a
yep.
batter's only going to be allowed to step out once. Um, I'm not sure I'm thrilled with the pickoff rule. I think it's 2 times. And then the third time, if they do it, it's either the runner gets an advance or it's a ball, something, but you're only allowed to try to pick off the runner
Yeah,
twice.
so that to
I
me
don't
that leans to
I
the
don't like that one
because if you
because
throw over there, if you do throw over there twice, that means you
that
can't throw
third
over a
time
third
you can't
time,
throw
and
over.
so the guy's going to steal a
The
base.
guy's gonna get a big lead and he's gonna steal. I mean, I don't see how that one's gonna really work. They're gonna have to tweak that a little bit or throw it out.
But I tell you what, some of the games I did watch this year, there wasn't a whole lot to throw over to first base that I saw.
No, that's the other part is not that many
So,
pitchers do that. They try to
so
concentrate on the hitter. They even say about some relievers don't even pay attention to the runners.
yeah,
A closer comes in, he doesn't even look over there. He's just concentrating on the hitter. So I don't think the throws to first are a big game delay
right,
situation. I don't know why they're doing that one.
yeah, and
Um,
they're making the bags three
I was gonna
inches
say the bags are
bigger.
getting bigger, 3 inches all the way around. So you might see some more infield hits.
Yeah,
But then again, the double play at second or the force out or whatever that might get, and it might help the first base. So it could be a trade-off there
so you're
between,
talking you're talking a half a foot difference between first and
yeah,
second now.
between
So I
first and
mean,
second.
you're a
That's
half a
right.
foot closer.
You're half a
So I
foot
mean,
closer, and if you get them to throw over at you twice, you got a big lead and you're a little bit closer.
yeah.
I mean, where's Vince Coleman, Maury Wills, and
Oh
Davey
yeah,
Lopes and Ricky
yeah.
Henderson? Where's Ricky Henderson? He's probably ticked off now. Ricky going to come back. Ricky saying to himself, Ricky, you got to come back. He's like 65 probably now or 70, and he's like, I got to come back. Look how close the bases are. So it's crazy. Ricky, come back. I get 100 steals a year again, easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and what do you do with all those stolen base records? I mean, that's just like I don't
Yeah. You know, I mean,
but I guess it is what it is. So
yep.
all
All
right,
right,
buddy.
my friend.
Okay, I will talk to you probably tomorrow for the Express for a few minutes. For Billy Smith, this is been From the Cheap Seats with John Harris, Gizmo, and all these freaking people. All these people here in the studio getting us going. Bill, I'll talk to you later
Sounds good. Good night,
from
folks.
the Cheap Seats.